Well, hello everybody. Let me ask you a question. I know you're tired of these history questions, but you know that's what I am. You ever heard of Frederick Olmsted? Of course you haven't, unless you live in New York City. Frederick Olmsted got beat to death in New York City back in the 1800s. About we got nowhere to go. We got nowhere green. Everything is brown. Everything is concrete. Everything is steel. So he built Central Park. Central Park, the baddest park in the whole United States.
That's right.
And today we're going to talk to you about our park. We can't compare it with Central Park,
Of course.
but it's in the center part of town. That's about the only thing we can talk about. Our park, if you've ever been to it, walked in it, been to the July 4th event, had a cookout there, gave away school supplies, whatever function you've been to it, used to be a warehouse. And it was owned by the Holiday brothers from Gallivant's Ferry, South Carolina, and Mr. Ernest Fry. Joe Fry, some of you may know Joe Fry, the famous baseball player here, his father. And a lot of tobacco sales. And on the very corner of the front corner of that, on the edge of, in fact, two poles held up the building of the canal, same canal that's there right now, was a restaurant, a little restaurant, uh, Page's Restaurant, and you could go in there and get anything you wanted to eat as long as it was beef stew.
Wow.
You couldn't get nothing else but
Wow.
beef stew. That's all he specialized in beef stew.
There's nothing wrong
And
with that.
it was a wonderful place. And then it fell down, burned down, was torn down, and it was owned by a gentleman in South Carolina, Lakeview, and he gave it to the town of Fairmont, gave the land to the town of Fairmont. And Ben Hill, our town manager at that time, found a way to turn it into a park. And we have a wonderful park. We have all kind of events. The biggest event in the history of Fairmont until the class reunions, the grand reunions, was our very first July 4th event, 2007.
Wow.
Never seen that many people in my life in Fairmont, and they were mostly in the park. So we have a wonderful facility there. Now, you just don't have a park, you cut the grass, build a few gazebos, and just leave it alone. You've got to enhance it.
That's right.
And what Mr. Chestnut's going to do now is talk about, since he's been here, some of the connections that we have had with certain other clubs and activities that have enhanced our park and made it better. The biggest detriment we have to our park is there's a canal,
Yes, sir.
the famous, talked about, they jump on us and beat us up with baseball bats canal that overflows occasionally, is right through the middle of our park. In fact, a bridge, and I'm going to let him tell you about the bridge connects both ends of our park. But anyway, Mr. Chestnut, tell them about the modern day park.
So our current modern day park, for one, let me just say, the town of Fairmont only has one community park.
Good.
We have two other parks that are managed by Robinson County. One is in the Oldfield community. One is in North Fairmont. And they're used, sparingly as, people visit them. But our pride and joy here in the town of Fairmont is our community park downtown. And you are right, Mr. Mayor. It does have a canal running through it. But that's something that, we can't change. That canal
Right.
has been there since the beginning of Fairmont, and we can't change it.
Moses came down that canal one time.
Yeah. And but it's a great place in downtown Fairmont for our citizens and other people to visit. And even just recently, Mr. Mayor, Madison, our lead for North Carolina intern, has started a walking club down in the park. And with that, her and I meet down there on Wednesdays and Fridays at noon, and we walk and we talk with our citizens, and we enjoy it, but it's clean, it's safe, and it's active. You can see people down there every morning
Oh, yeah.
walking. You can see
Yeah.
people down there at lunch eating. And that's what we want for our park. We want it to be a safe, clean space for people to use at their leisure. And we also hold town events there.
Absolutely.
And it's a very highly used park. There are some things that we're looking at for the future of how we market it, the community park, to be able to host more events. And for the citizens out there, our park is available to reserve, obviously for a fee. to be used for private events, public events, come as you are events. And it has served us well. So for us, being able to sit here in our office and look at the park for one, it is just a magnificent view, and to have the ability for all of our town employees to literally go down there during lunch and take a stroll or have a bite to eat, it's just very good for the town of Fairmont. So we're very proud of um, our community park.
Some of my greatest thinking occurs by looking out my west facing window at that park. And it's a beautiful scenic arrangement.
Yeah.
You've got pine trees, you've got beautiful grass, we've got a gazebo in the middle of the place. Who knows? There's been some discussion. Mr. Chestnut has been pounced upon by citizens and commissioners about putting a splash pad.
Yes, sir.
And if we do get a splash pad, if we're lucky enough to raise that kind of money, it'll go down there. So we're always looking for ways to enhance our park.
Most
Because
definitely.
it's a collection place.
Most
It's where people can go.
Most
You want to get a sub and go down there and sit in a gazebo and have lunch with somebody? You can do that. You want to go down there and watch 8,000 million firework things go off? You can do that. You want to go down there and hear a concert? The one of our organizations, our business organizations, spent $25,000
Yes, sir.
building that pavilion down there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So,
And you were talking about the bridge and the canal that runs through it, and
yeah,
the water has taken a toll on our bridge.
let's give a shout out to the Rotary Club.
That's right. That's right. For spending funds to create
Right.
the bridge to connect the park to a meeting place for bands and that sort of thing. But it's things that we're looking at for the future to make our park more of a collection place.
So if you want to park it, I've been waiting for 7 minutes to say this. If you want to park it, you come down to Fairmont
Most
and
definitely.
ride down the hill right from the town hall. People ask me, where's the park? I say, well, if you see the three-story town hall, just ride right down the hill and look to your right and you'll see the park. Unless you don't know what green and a canal and all that is, that's the park.
Yeah.
Feel free to go in and enjoy yourself. And we'll be back next week with another interesting and possibly quite funny show as well. So
Awesome.
y'all have a great day.
Yes, sir.